everyone, this is Radull Live. Thanks for joining us today. And today we're going to talk about women's rugby, playing and coaching. And joining me today is Mercy Migongo. Hi Mercy, how you doing?
Hi, I'm fine. How are you?
I'm fine. I met you a couple of weeks ago. We were having a coaching clinic.
Yeah.
You were coaching to be, coaching coaches, coaching female coaches, female coaches attending a clinic. But tell me about your playing career, because you're a rugby player as well.
Yeah. I began playing rugby in high school. So luckily our school had rugby for girls. And the reason as to why I joined rugby was because of food. Food. So basically, I was on admission. And then I saw like the principal was not around. So I asked, where is the principal? And then they told me, the principal is having lunch with the rugby players because they won the 2010 Safaricom Sevens. So she's not available for anyone right now. Yeah, so I felt a bit good about it. So yeah, that's why I joined rugby.
You wanted lunch with the principal?
No. I wanted to be respected the way the women players were respected in the school. So yeah, that's why.
But it's one thing to want to play; it's another thing to actually have the skill. How did you discover you had the skill?
Through practice. Yeah, I practiced a lot. So after high school, actually when I was still in high school, I joined the Top Right Nakuru age grade program by Felix Olo. Then afterwards, we converted the age grade team to the club. So we used to play for Nakuru, Top Right Nakuru RFC women, if you can remember. Yeah, we used to have very good passes. Actually, no one can beat us in passing. Yeah.
But you don't say. Then how did you get to move then to Impala? You were with Impala Saracens or you're at Mwamba?
Yes, currently I'm at Impala. But
you were at Mwamba at some point?
No.
You never played for Mwamba?
No. I was at Kenya Harlequins. So after high school, I came to Nairobi. That is when I joined
That's a sin. From Harlequins to Impala. That's like from Arsenal to Man United. From Gor to AFC. What?
You know, so I went to Kenya Harlequins women. Now that was like a big club for women rugby because they had around 15 players who play for the national team. So it was a very positive environment for me. And then afterwards, the women they were banned because of maybe funding, something like that. So Paul Murunga took us to Homeboys. Yeah, so 2017 I joined Homeboys to 2019, and that is when I received my call up for the national team.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it was it was a dream come true for me. So after COVID, Homeboys never came back. The Homeboys women team. So I had to go to Impala. So I'm currently at Impala. Yes. You're
currently at Impala. Tell me about your being called up to the national team. What happened? How did it happen?
It is a nice story. So the call-up itself, I'd already given up. I'd not gone to the club for training for 2 weeks because I always yearned to play for the national team because I always found myself circulating around the girls who play for the national team. And the stories, they were just amazing, traveling and everything. So I just said, maybe this national team thing is not for me. So I was at home for 2 weeks. I'd never gone to the club. And the team manager, Simon Odongo, screenshot the email for me. And then I remember my name was like the first one. Hi, you've been selected to go and train for the World Cup qualifiers, which will be happening in Johannesburg, South Africa. Then when we went for practice, I met like 56 amazing ladies there who had come for trials. So I was like, I thought I was the only one here. So it was tough. It was tough at first because every week they had like to remove like 5 players. They needed to pin down to 35 players. So I remember the Homeboys girls, we used to tell ourselves, perhaps maybe next week we're the people who are going to be. Yeah. So I made the cut of the 35 players who remained to the national team, and it was my first time to travel and go and play rugby in Johannesburg, South Africa, which was, for me, it was very memorable because I had gone a lot. I had gone through a lot in training. You know, the coach was really trying to make me tough to play that level because I was so soft. My mental strength was so weak. So I was that girl who was given like extras to do and everything. And I was like, perhaps maybe even the coach doesn't like me. I didn't know that he was preparing me for this big tournament. So my first game was against Madagascar. And you remember when I entered the pitch, I made a statement because I carried the ball from 10 meter to the other 10 meter, just driving. Yeah, it was insane. And I remember even the coach was screaming in the line. He was saying, that's it, keep doing it. That's what I'm talking about. And when we went back to the changing rooms, every player came in and they were like tapping my shoulder and were like, good job, you know. So I was a substitute, and the person who started that game, her name is Juliet Nyambura. She went to US for scholarship. She's doing like a lot of education things. So she came when we were having dinner, she came and told me, hey, Mercy the Beast. So you can imagine someone who is starting on your position telling you that. It was memorable moment for me.
But it means you had worked for it.
It was crazy.
You must have felt relief, pride, everything at once.
Yes, it was too much work. I earned that trip. Let me tell you, I earned it. Yeah.
But the national team doesn't get that many games.
Yes.
How does that make you feel? What do you wish would happen?
I feel so bad. So far, in regards to 15th, the 15th game, because I believe that the Kenya women ladies can easily go to the World Cup, the 15th team, because now even the next World Cup, which will be in England, 2025, they have said that they are going to empower more women, and they are trying to bring a lot of women to play the World Cup tournament in Twickenham. So basically, they want to give the opportunity to 2 teams from Africa. And I believe that we are so good. Now, the national team is even beating South Africa, you know, which was for us. Yeah.
And they're fully professional.
Exactly, imagine. And we don't have the same things that they have, but girls always put a lot of effort. Girls always play. Girls always have passion for this game. So I believe if we can have a lot of games for preparations, look at what the Kenya Simba did after the Currie Cup that they went to. Those guys came back and they played so good rugby.
You could see the difference.
Yes. If we had that opportunity as women.
Opportunity.
Yes.
Opportunity and support.
Yes. And to build up, let's say we start building up for them for the 2025 World Cup. I'm sure we'll go there and make a difference.
Now, by the way, I remember talking to Andrew Amonde here. Yeah. I think it was around this time last year, because it was right after he retired from Sevens and after the Olympics. And you're saying the problem with Kenya is we think training for the Olympics is a 6-month program. It is a 4-year program.
Yeah.
You need to prepare now if we're thinking of 2025. But what do you wish the union would do for the women? Because you don't get as much support as the men, and that's a fact.
Probably let's start with visibility. Because not a lot of Kenyans know that there is women rugby. You tell someone you play rugby and they're like, there is female rugby in Kenya, which is very sad. Let's start with visibility. If we can try and maybe combine the women's rugby and the men rugby, because the men have a lot of fans who come to watch, at least we'll get sponsors. Because again, we can't go for these games and everything if we don't have money to support us, which we are really struggling with that. So if we can have a lot of visibility like men, that will be a nice thing for us as women.
And you guys are doing amazing. I saw Camelin. Camelin was taken, she coaches now, I think, the Dubai women's national team.
Yeah,
Dubai women's. Yeah. So if Kenyans can go to that level, is it? No, it's not Camelin. It's
Philadelphia.
It's
Orlando.
Philo Orlando.
Yeah.
Philo is now the national team coach in the UAE. You know, and she was our team captain just the other day. So it shows the potential if we support women's rugby. Tell me about transitioning from playing to coaching, because even though you still play, you also coach.
At least now you get to understand things from the coach perspective.
What, you were a rebel before?
You understand things, and you're like, once you go back to the field, you're always like, hey, hey, the coach has a lot of job to do, because sometimes you're trying to explain things to players, they don't understand what you're trying to tell them, and then now you have like to modify how you talk to them so that they don't like receive the information negatively. More so if you're training girls, it's really it's not easy. You have like also to understand where they're coming from, and then you gel that, and then you try and bring that rugby information and try and not like bridge what they are doing.
So what was your route to saying to becoming a coach? You woke up one day and said it's not enough just to play, I want to coach as well.
No.
Or did you get training?
I had good father. Yeah. So Paul Murunga, when I was at Homeboys, I had Paul Murunga with me. He's been supportive all of my rugby career. So I remember I was still like struggling financially, and then he told me, Mercy, we want to start a rugby program, the age grade rugby program for boys here at Homeboys, me and the late Benjamin Ayimba. So basically what you do, you'll be coming and coaching these boys. So that was like my first coaching opportunity that I got, which I really learned a lot from them. And also, so after that, I joined the KRDA coaching as well, which has really like prepared me a lot to this coaching journey.
Let me take you back a bit.
Yeah.
Coaching boys, how hard is it to coach boys? They must have looked at you and gone, Allah, what can this chick tell us?
It's not hard once you have the head coach around, because they will be like, we need really to respect her. But once you deliver something which has quality, and then they're like, hey, kumbe, this is a rugby coach, you understand? So yeah, so at least now I got accepted with the boys, even till today.
They realized you knew what you were doing.
Yeah, at least if you have information of what you're supposed to do and what you need to deliver to the boys, it's easy.
It's actually not that difficult. I want us to take a quick break here. Okay. When we come back, you tell us about coaching prisoners, coaching kids. I see you busy on Instagram. By the way, I stalk your Insta story. Every day you're coaching a different set of people and really giving back. So we'll have that discussion in just a bit. Don't go anywhere.
Thank you.
Hi everyone, welcome back. This is Radull Live. I'm here with Mercy Migongo and we are speaking Migongo. I said it correctly, yeah?
Yeah.
And we were talking about rugby. She's a player for Impala Saracens women's team, but also a coach. Who do you coach? Because today I see you coaching prisoners, tomorrow you're coaching kindergarten children, the next day you're coaching girls' schools. Who do you coach and how do you have enough hours? Do you have like 26 hours in your day? Because I always see you coaching.
I coach around now 7 groups.
Wow.
Yes. And excitingly, next year I'll start coaching another set, which I just got. I just got that job. So basically, I coach Langata Women's Prison. I coach the KRDA, King's Rugby Development Academy, Kibera Golden Stars. I coach the Impala under 18 rugby girls also. I coach Stepping Stones Kindergarten.
What?
Yeah, and I'm a coach at DBA Africa, Dream, Believe, Achieve.
Oh yes, I know the DBA athletes. Yes.
So basically that's my roundup of the people that I coach. And ACK Good Samaritan.
How different is it coaching the different groups? Because I'm sure the way you coach a 6-year-old is not the same way you'd coach the women at Langata Women's. Yeah.
So coaching is a bit, it's the same, I'll say, but you just need to twist it a little bit depending on the group that you're coaching. Because if I coach like under 6 team, I'll do a lot of fun and games with them. I'll try and make the session as enjoyable as possible, because I want them to, in as much as they play rugby, in as much as they're learning new skills, I want them to enjoy the session as well. Coaching women at prison, again, it's something very different. I would like it to be enjoyable and safe environment for them to tell me what they're going through. If I need like to change anything, they'll tell me freely. I want them to enjoy the session. So for them, I'll put in skills, but in as much as I'm putting skills, I'm trying to change lives through rugby, because as you know, rugby values the discipline, respect, integrity, solidarity, and everything. So yeah, so we're trying at least to change lives through coaching rugby. And let me surprise you, when we started the program in the prison with the Espartanos Africa, we only had like 20 rugby players. Now we have registered 40 players, and already the ones that were in the program, 13 of them, they're out. 5 of them were given mercy by the president because of their discipline, how the discipline changed in their prison and everything.
So it's being used also for rehabilitation.
Yes.
And it's working.
Yes, it is working.
That's good news.
Yes. And now even the women are asking about friendlies. They now want to play. They want to be in the tournaments now.
Is there anything we're going to do about that? Because recently I was at a committee at the girls' school in Committee, and they had organized their first football tournament between the warders around Nairobi, from Nairobi West, like Langata Women, industrial area, and then those girls at Committee, the girls' school. And they were saying we want to have more tournaments. I think it was the first between the girls. But it would be nice to see the same, different prisons playing against each other, like having a prisons rugby league. Yeah. Or you're not involved at that level.
But now you see the problem with the women's prison, we don't have a lot. So basically what we are trying to do right now, we are trying to incorporate the clubs. So if we get Impala to go to the prison and play with them, and then they just have fun. Yeah, if we can bring the ladies, perhaps maybe, we have very supportive female who is there, and she said we can even go to State House because they have very nice grounds. The president, the president accepts if they can go and play there because of safety and everything. So they can just go there with another team and play rugby.
Yeah, but that's nice. That's, I mean, that's a different way of showing these ladies that you're not condemned. Just because you're in prison, you're not condemned. Yeah. There is a way out if you reform yourselves. Yeah. And I guess they do reform themselves.
But for women, they're good. They're not bad. They are good. It's only that, you know, it's only that how you handle your emotions when someone is like, it depends with the emotion. How do you react to your emotion? So probably that's, let's say, most of them is just bad luck. How they reacted to their emotion, that's why they're there. Even if you ask them right now, they'll be like, me, coach, I really don't know why I'm here. It just happened in a span of like a second. So
when you're coaching the 6-year-olds, I mean, are these girls you want to coach to become professional, or they're just doing it at their level and then they pick up another sport later on? Do you keep in touch with these girls as they grow in the sport?
Yes, I do keep in touch. And for me, I don't always coach people and tell them, hey, I need you to do this because I want you to be a national team player. Because not everyone that I coach will be the national. Yes, will want to become. Yeah, but what I want to do, I want to change the women. You know, rugby makes you this tough woman. It makes you believe that you can do anything. You see, that is what I want to incorporate. At least when you go even to jobs, then you'll have a better even chance of securing your job. Because even companies right now, they tend to employ a lot of female athletes because they know with female athletes comes discipline and everything that sports offer.
By the way, sports, I always say sports has everything: hard work, discipline, focus, everything you'd want to instill in a human being. Tell me about your program in Kibera.
So I
don't know how you stretch yourself on all these, from Langata Women's to a kindergarten to Kibera.
So I have a timetable for my training sessions, and I stopped working completely. So I do rugby from Monday to Sunday.
Wow.
Yeah. So through volunteering,
and it pays the bills.
Wait, I tell you now. this is the gist of the story. Through volunteering, through sharing my program, I got jobs which are paying me to coach as well. So I am at Broadcast International Schools.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, they pay me good money for training those boys and girls.
I'm seeing who's buying lunch.
Yeah, and they're amazing. So it's also a nice opportunity even for female. At least now female athletes are getting jobs at the international schools level. That is a very, very
That's progress.
Good. Yes.
So now tell me about Kibera. Sorry, I diverted the attention.
Yeah. So with Kibera, that was a set of football, girls playing football.
Oh, it wasn't rugby?
It is called Kibera Black Stars, if you've heard of that.
I know Kibera
program.
Black Stars.
Yeah.
They play in the they used to play in the National Super League. I don't know if they're still there.
Yeah, they play football. So I met one of the sponsors and I told her, perhaps you should try rugby. Because, with me, football. So she was like, just come and introduce it. If they like, okay. If they don't like, we can't pressure them. And the turnout was amazing. Everything was good. Now we have 30 girls in the program. We have one girl who is training with the National Olympic Committee from Kibera. And she's preparing for the Olympics, which will happen in France now. She's called Nancy.
In rugby?
Yes, in rugby. There's rugby, the junior rugby. Yeah, they're going to participate in the Olympics.
I always say you never know where you'll find talent in this country.
Yes.
It's everywhere.
Yes.
It's just to give them the opportunities.
Yeah.
Will you ever be our national team coach?
If I'm given a chance, I won't.
Grab it, tell Paul Burunga. Hey, tell your godfather. Because you seem to have the experience.
Yes.
But you're still playing, so no rush.
Yes, I'm still playing. I would love to. By the way, Kenya Rugby Union is really also supporting me in this project. They just paid my tour to Uganda. I'm just from Uganda. I did my level 2 coaching with other girls from Africa. Yeah, I think also they're also watching my progress. Yeah, they're just watching. So
because it's important to get the proper coaching qualifications.
Yes.
So it's not just, I played, now I can coach. Because then you're grooming the youth with the proper skills.
Yes.
What do you think is the future of women's rugby in Kenya? Both factually and in your dreams.
The future is bright. I'll say the future is bright. Because when you see, when we played against Colombia, I remember no one in rugby, in women rugby, had gone for pro rugby or gone outside to do anything in regards to rugby. Now, after the tournament, we have a lot of girls who went for pro rugby. They're going for pro rugby. They're coming back. A lot of the national, the other teams from other nations are looking for Kenyan women, and at least visibility is there. So at least if a player goes and come back, at least they come back with other informations now. When we put them
another skill.
Yes, when we put them inside the pitch and share, they will share with the other. It becomes like peer to peer. Now even our rugby knowledge and skill is going up. So I believe even like, let's say in even 2 years' time, we'll be very far with the women rugby.
And we're going to get to the World Cup before the men.
Let me tell you, 2025, it's South Africa and Kenya.
South Africa and Kenya.
Yes.
I'm going to hold you to that because I think it's possible.
Yes, 2025. I tell you, it's South Africa and Kenya.
What would you like the government to give to women's rugby?
Support.
Or to any rugby, to any sport? Ababu, if Ababu is watching, tell him what you want.
I would love you guys to support the women. I know you're supporting, but at least support more if you can, because we have a lot of talent. And if you empower women, now you will have empowered the whole committee. Yeah, so...
And he's heard. If he hasn't heard, I'll give him a phone call and make sure he hears.
Please empower women who play rugby.
Mercy, it's been such a pleasure. It's been such a pleasure. We had a brief meeting a couple of weeks ago, and I'm so glad I followed you on Instagram because I didn't understand the magnitude of what it is you do. And I want to say thank you because you're imparting your skills on people who need such support. And, and I wish some of your teammates would also do the same.
They are.
They're doing it.
They're doing it by force.
After that program, what's her name? Oh yeah.
It was by Paris.
Paris.
Yes.
Gosh. By the way, I interviewed Paris here as well. Paris. That program was about creating more female rugby leaders in the country,
Yes.
which I think was fantastic.
Yes,
because
she's
then
doing phenomenal job.
if
with
each
the
of those girls goes to do what you do, and I believe a lot of them are,
yeah,
then we're going to spread rugby around the whole country
yes.
and get to the World Cup before the men. Thank you, Mercy.
Thank
you for watching Radull Live. I hope you've enjoyed this conversation about women's rugby. And join us again next week for another conversation. Bye-bye.